today what we are going to see is how to deploy a Node.js application into the AWS EC2 instance. So right now the application what you are seeing, right, it is Node.js server, like how we will develop Node.js APIs and all using Express.js, right? So kind of application. But this technology I'm using is Nest.js application. This is kind of Express.js only to build scalable softwares like scalable APIs. This particular Docker file, this particular Nest.js technology, we can use it. So before proceeding, I will just run this particular application, like how it work without pushing into the Docker or AWS. Okay. So now what I will do, I will just start this server. Start and this should up and running. Now what I will do, I will access this in this localhost. Currently this is pointing to 3001 localhost. You see, when the application is running, the server is responding to the hello world. So now we are sure that like whenever this application runs, right, it is showing hello world message. So the same thing we should get when it is deployed into the AWS also. Okay, so what I will do, I will close this right now, and I will close this server also. And now before proceeding it, I will just explain like how to the Docker file will be. So these are the steps I have written to Dockerize this particular application. So you see, I am using Node.js 18 version. From this is a actually Docker file setup. You can get it from the Docker documentation. And current working directory I am making as this thing. So it will create a particular directory there. And what I am doing, I am copying the packages on, everything dependency we are managing in the packages only. So that one I am moving to the mentioned location above. So once it is done, I am following another command, do the npm install. So once everything is done, right, I am copying entire bundle to one location to different location, and I am performing npm run build. So this will create a asset folder. This folder will be created there. So from here, what I am doing, here you can see inside the dist folder main.js is there. So this is the root file, like entry file for us. So that file I need to serve. So what I'm doing, node, and this file I'm executing command. So this one internally it is executing the file server in 3001. So that is the reason here Docker file I'm exposing this particular API to 3001. So this is about the Docker file. Okay. So now what I will do, I will create a new Docker image now. Before doing it, I will do it in the way of how AWS expect. So before proceeding with this, I will switch to AWS website. So now whatever we have to do in the AWS, right, we need some access to work with it. So for that we need to create some user. Right now I don't have any user, so I will create a new user in IAM. So this is like a user management access actually. So what I will do, I will go to the user section, and you can see already admin is created. So if it is not created, right, you can justly click on add users. So here you can create a name, and by clicking the next option you can able to specify the permissions also. So right now I will see what permission this particular admin has. I will go to that thing. Okay, this is having only S3 access. So now I need to add few more permission. So I will add the policy here. So that policy will be like administration actually. This is coming different actually. I will do it in a different way. One second. This particular policy I don't want from this user. So I will remove this policy because this user is admin. So he should be having the entire access to this thing. What I will do, I will go to the policies. So here you see a lot of policies. So I will just filter out. Here you can see admin access, some role will be there. I will filter out. Yeah, you can see administrator access. So this administrator access will be having the full access to the AWS services. So what I will do, I will click this. Once it's clicked, I will click on the action. There's a attach. So I will click this. Once it is clicked, I will get whatever the users available. I mean which is created already. So this is a user I created already. So I'm attaching this policy. So once it is attached, right, we are getting the message one entity was attached successfully. So we are clear now. So this user, admin user, has a policy administrator access. Now what we need to do, we need to have some special access to log into our CLI. So whatever we need to do, right, we need to have the access to use other remaining services which is providing by the AWS only through some special access. So that one we are already created a key here, but we are going to create one more new and we are going to use that. So what I will do, I will delete this. So this one is not needed. I will deactivate it and I will delete this. Okay, so we have deleted the user now. We can create a new one. So create access key. Here you can see there are a lot of options. So the first one, access key best practice alternative, we can use CLI. Whatever we are going to perform in the AWS, right, it is actually we are going to through in the CLI only. So CLI I have selected and I understand this policy. Next, and no needed, nothing needed, but I will mention admin access. Okay, now I am creating the access key. Now you see this is created successfully. Now I will I actually, you see, if you see this message, if you lost or forget your secret key, you cannot retrieve it. You need to create a new one only. So that is the reason they are giving option to download CSV file. Now I have downloaded the access. Okay, so now I don't need to keep this in mind. So now what I will do, I will go to home page. Okay, so here now what we need to do, so access thing we have successfully created our access key and created the user also. And now what we need to do, we need to create a new repository in Elastic Container Registry. This is called the ECR. So this is a place where Docker images will be stored. So what I will do, I will create a new repository, private. So I will keep the name as backend server. Okay, so this is created successfully, and there are option inscription mentioned, it is not needed. Okay, so now this is created successfully. This is a URI we got to push it to this particular thing. So now there is no images if you go inside this thing. Okay, now the actual step we need to perform. What we will do now, we have created the repository in AWS to push the Docker image. Now we need to push it actually. So if you see view push commands, when you click it, right, you are seeing these options, everything to push the, these are the steps actually to push the image to the AWS thing. So what I will do, I will open the terminal. I will try to log in this application. It should say successfully logged in, calling get authorization operation, security document included. Okay, seems like I need to first log into the AWS. So to do that, AWS configure, I need to enter. So this will ask AWS access key ID. So it will be in my recent downloads, which we recently created the user, right? So go to the download, and this is the access key. So if I go there, this is a key, I will download access key ID. Okay, now I will paste it here, and the secret key also I am taking from here and pasting. And this is a default region This is very important. So right now we are in that location only, so I'm entering the default. Now if you see, we have successfully configured our AWS CLI. Now I will try the above command that log into the ECR. Let's see whether it is logging or not. Seems like it is not logging. Let's see. Seems like it is having access issue. AWS or an user admin. There is some user admin permission error we are getting, so we don't need to panic. We will go to the IAM and we'll check what is happening exactly. User/admin. Okay, users, administrator access we are having, so it should be ideally having all the permissions. Okay, this one itself should work because it having the admin access. So what I will do, I will remove the boundary. Now boundary is not there, so now it should work. Let's see. Okay, you see login succeeded. So now what we do, we'll go to this particular thing. We will copy this. We will create a new Docker image. So this is a command, docker build -t backend server dot. So what it will do, it will create the Docker image with this name for all the files. So it is creating the Docker. Okay, it is successfully created. Now we'll see whether it is created or not. So this is a command to check the Docker images. Okay, it is available. What we will do, we will tag this thing so that it will be easy for us to push it. Now we are having this option, docker push and this particular name. I'm doing it here, so it should successfully prepare and upload all the images into the AWS thing. You see something is loading. So actually what it is doing, right, it is pushing the Docker image in this Amazon ECR. We will wait till it is to get uploaded. So guys, if you see, the Docker image is pushed into the AWS successfully. Now we will check the status here. So when I refresh it, right, this image is properly uploaded here. Okay, so this is successfully done. Now what we have to do, we need to create a EC2 instance newly. This is, if you see, virtual servers in the cloud. So we can create different types of servers like Amazon Linux and Ubuntu Linux or Windows Server, anything like that. So what I'm going to do, I will create a new instance. Okay, so here you can see launch instance. So here I will create a name, backend API server. Okay, so here I will create the default Linux, Amazon Linux, because it is having the free tier eligible. If you are deploying some big kind of load application, then this particular configuration will be taken care of. So now I will go with the instance type as a free tier eligible only. This is enough for me. And what I will do, I need to generate a new key pair. So I will click on the new key pair. The purpose of new key pair, right, with this only we can able to connect to the machines through terminal. So what I will do, I will create a name, The name will be like AWS Linux terminal access. Okay, so I will creating a generate B. If you see some file is downloaded, it is .pem. Using this file only we will be able to connect this server. So this is done, and this is also done. What I will do now, we need to have one more traffic for HTTP. So I will edit this, and TCP is already available. Now I need to add one more thing. So that is like custom TCP, and here I will select. Sorry, something happened. I think I have deleted by mistake. I will click OK, security. Yeah, okay. So custom TCP. This one I will change to HTTP. So it will be TCP protocol, and the port range will be 80. So this is a default port for HTTP, and here let it be. So we will be using anywhere. So 000/0. With this only we can able to connect from any system. Otherwise it won't be allowed. So I have selected this. Now I will click on launch instance. So now what is happening inside, right? It is created a new instance, I mean new virtual machine for us, and it is success now. Now what I will do, I will go to the instance. If you see, it is pending still. It will start and it will be running. We will wait till it is started and running. Meanwhile we will go to the inside ID. So if you see, you can see this public IPv address and public DNS name. So with this DNS name we can able to access the servers, whatever the server we are creating, the API thing, right, from outside. If you see, it is not working because the server is not yet created, and even though it is created, right, we need to configure our Docker run here. Okay, now the state is running, so it is good. Now it is running. Now what I will do, we need to connect this server. Okay, so to do this, there's option connect, right? I will click this, and we need to connect via SSH client. So this one I have clicked. If you see below, SSH connection string, right? This one we need to perform where this particular AWS Linux terminal access.pem file is present. If you see, the something is downloaded when we configure the instance, right? Here .pem, that only we are going to use. Okay, so what I will do, I will create a new folder here called key, and I will bring that key here, paste it here. So this key, let it be. What I will do now, I will close this terminal, create a new terminal, and cd key. Okay, fine. So now I am inside this particular key directory where this particular keys exist. Okay, .pem keys exist. What I am going to do, I will copy this and I will paste this and enter. So it should successfully establish the connection. Now it is asking whether we can connect. I am saying yes. Okay, so if you see, we have successfully logged in. No, sorry, we haven't logged in. It is saying bad credentials. Okay. Oh, okay. If you see, permission error. The file we are pasted, right, .pem file, it is not having enough permission. So this one we will run to make the full permission. So it is done. Now I will retry this SSH connection. It should establish the Linux, yeah, successfully. If you see, we have successfully logged into the Amazon Linux. Okay, so what we do now, we have successfully created the Amazon Linux. Now what we need to do, we need to have a Docker, then only we can able to run this Docker thing. So before that, we will configure AWS here also, then only we can able to download everything. So now what I will do, I will again go to the key. So this key I will copy and paste it here, and the secret key access also I will copy and paste it here, and this one default region name should be this thing, US-east-1, US-east-1, and no output format we need. So that's it. This one is done successfully. Now we will see whether Docker is installed. Okay, it is saying Docker command is not found. Now we need to install this Docker into the that machine. Okay, finally we got the documentation. So here if you see, we will install sudo yum update y. So this will perform a relevant thing. So now we need to install sudo yum install docker. So yes, this will download and install the Docker into the our Linux machine. Yeah, so it is installed. Now we'll check whether it is installed or not. Yeah, when we perform the Docker, right, the command is working, so which means it is installed. Now we need to run the service. So I will run. Okay, now what we will do, we will try to we will try to pull the Docker here. So what I will do, I will navigate to ECR. So here push command is there, right? Copy it. So the same thing we need to pass it here also. So I am doing, it should okay, here permission denied. Okay, so this start server is not running, I think. 1 second. We have completed the AWS authentication also, but it is still saying that error. What we will do, AWS configure, again we will enter the credentials. Okay, now needed. Before to this, we will just click. What we will do, I will go to EC2 instance again. Now I will click this. There's a reboot instance is there, right? I will perform this. We will wait for some time. What I will do, I have restarted that, so that's why it is automatically closed. What we need to do, we need to connect with the same credential again. So this thing, so I will do the same thing. So it should log in. I think it is still rebooting the server. Let's wait few more minutes. Okay, it is successfully logged in. Now I will enter docker info. Okay, good. It is properly giving those information here. So now it will work properly. What I will do, I will now clone this Docker image. So I will do this login, Docker login. Now this should work. Yes, now this is succeeded. What I will do, I will use this Docker image docker pull this image. So if you see, everything is getting downloaded from the AWS registry. Let it run. So we have successfully cloned the Docker image into our Linux machine. Let it complete entirely. Okay, we have successfully downloaded this newer image. What I will do, I will perform the docker images command. It should list the image. It's good now. So what we need to do now, we need to run this particular docker now. So docker run, port will be 80, default port. What port that we have configured inside, it is 3001, right? Yeah, 301. Okay, so -d to run it is backend also, and this command I will put yes. Now it is done. Again I need to build this thing, but now I need to pass this Linux AMD 64 processor. Okay, now I will create the new image. I will go to this push commands again. I will click this. Once the docker image is created, I need to tag and push it again. So let it run. Yeah, so this is successfully done now. Now what I will do, I will tag this and again I will push this. It will be pushing. So meanwhile we will again delete the docker image from that place. Yeah, so we have deleted the docker image here. Now what we will do, I will clear this. So now again I need to docker pull I have to do. So let's see whether it is pushed or not. It is pushing. We will wait for a few more seconds. Meanwhile I will copy this particular command and paste it there. So I will go to here. Okay, so once this particular docker upload is completed, we will pull this into the Linux server. So we'll wait till the time. Okay, so now if you see it, we have successfully pushed the docker image into the AWS. Okay, what we will do, now we have ready with this command. I will click enter. So it should download it okay, it is downloading. So once it is downloaded, right, we need to just run the command only. Before that, what I will do, okay, this server, this IP we already checked, right? So it is nothing, it is not responding anything. Once we run this particular docker, right, it should serve our page like hello world. Let's see, we will confirm that instance number again. So what I will do, two things are there. I will copy this and paste it here. Yeah, this is correct and this is correct. Actually both are same only, but this is like a IP address format, this is DNS with a name format. Okay, so this will be mostly HTTP only. The securing part we are not considering right now. That will be next thing. So what I will do, I will check. Yeah, it is now done. I will check with on the Docker images. Okay, now Docker images are ready. Now I need to perform the run operation. So I will simply enter. It should run now. Okay, it is running, I think. Docker ps. Yes, it is running. It is 3.0.1 to 80. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so guys, if you see, the hello world is up and running. Okay, and this also should work now. Yeah, great. So now what we have done, we have successfully created the build for Docker image, and what we did again, we have successfully uploaded the image to Amazon ECR repository. So that is a place where we can maintain our Docker images and all. So once it is done, we are launching a new instance. That is we choose to Linux. Okay, so in Linux, what we are doing, we are manually downloading the Docker image and running into the server. So that is what we have completed now. So we can see it is running properly. Okay, so this is done now. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks.